Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got another review for you, and this time we're mooching around Midgard in an effort to send a Viking up to Valhalla in the adventure game Die With Glory. It's a fun little game and I'm quite excited to be talking about it out loud to people who will actually care. My partner doesn't give a damn and my boy is 4, so he's still eating his fist during our conversations. You lot though, you're alright. Let's do it. Die With Glory tells a few tall tales of a Viking who just never got his chance to ascend to the prestigious halls of Valhalla. Your job is to help him, and that means you need to get him killed again and again and again. After playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla off and on since its release back in November 2020, I've been keeping an eye out for anything and everything Viking, especially in games. Sadly, there aren't all that many Viking-themed video games around, at least on consoles. Die With Glory is a Viking-themed game, but you won't be hacking and slashing at anybody's limbs. You won't be hacking and slashing at all, actually, because Die With Glory is a point-and-click adventure following the epic tales of Sigurd the Viking, a liar of massive proportions. He's a fibber for sure, and that's where the game's non-linear storytelling comes from. While I've got you here, do us a favour and feed the greedy YouTube algorithm by giving this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it, and maybe leaving a comment down below. Also, if you haven't already, subscribe for daily reviews, lists and other stuff that we do. Cheers my dears. Die With Glory doesn't tell a cohesive story, at least not in a traditional sense. Sigurd is not a very reliable narrator, to say the least, and this is shown during the level selections in the Hack and Slash Tavern, where our mighty fibber tells his tall tales. Each level begins with Sigurd at the bar, and you're given a few choices to make that influence the way that particular level will play out. So if you say that somebody dies during that level, you need to make damn sure that they do kick the bucket. Likewise, if you say that they don't die, then you need to ensure their survival. And if Sigurd says he did something, it's your job to guide him to that action, for better or for worse. This opens the levels up to repeated playthroughs, because depending on what choices you make, the levels will play out differently. The gameplay doesn't change drastically, mind you, but the story does. I liked this, and I liked the story as a whole. It's funny, well written, and genuinely quite charming. Sigurd's best mate is a floating dead skull, and he's always got a biting quip for any situation. But he also serves as a hint giver should you become stuck. And stuck you will become, because this is a point-and-click puzzle game with a few platforming moments, though they're nothing to write home about. Your task within each level is to complete 3 objectives, and they're usually in the order of finding a weapon to fight, finding an opponent who will do battle with you, and then dying at their hands, sending Sigurd up to drink, eat and be Viking with his mates at Odin's table. But, obviously, he never makes it there on a permanent basis. But he's not letting that stop him from trying. Expect to die lots in Die With Glory, sometimes in a humorous fashion, other times by way of the game's occasionally frustrating controls. Moving Sigurd around is quite simple. You can either use the left stick and walk him through the gorgeous cartoon worlds, or you can use the on-screen prompts, a carryover from the game's mobile origins. Yeah, it's a port of a mobile game, but don't let that become a mental barrier, because it's really well done for what it is. And it's fairly cheap. So cheap in fact, I played halfway through on the Switch code our channel received, and then I put down the $5 for the PS4 version. I don't feel hard done by. I'm getting the best of both worlds, but perhaps my impulse buy was a little too optimistic. Die With Glory isn't a very long game, and I was done within just 3.5 hours, but for a $5, you can't really complain. The game ends with a suggestion that Sigurd's story continues, and now I'm left with the conundrum of whether I should buy the eventual sequel, assuming there is one, on PS4 or Switch. If it's priced right, I'll probably get both, because I loved taking Sigurd through the motions and getting him killed over and over again. What I didn't like were the platforming sections. The controls worked fine, mostly, but when it comes to platforming, it's a pain in the arse. Using the on-screen prompts to move Sigurd from platform to platform annoyed me massively, and I may have let out a few choice swears after falling into the water for the 10th bloody time. But everything else, damn good, and I'm big enough to see past the obvious flaws that are inherited from the game's mobile origins. It's a short but sweet adventure, and it calls back to the days of Monkey Island. So if you're old enough to know what Monkey Island is, you'll probably get a few kicks out of this one. And that is the end of this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, do us a favour, go down below, feed that algorithm, give us a like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever we've got new stuff, and go to the info box for our social media channels, website links, and our supporters page where you can support our team if you can. I've been Chris, I'm off to write another review, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye bye!